Evening by the Elbe River. The day had been long, but not hurried. My steps carried me steadily along the winding path beside the Elbe, a river that moves with both strength and grace. Its waters glimmered in the soft light, and the landscape shifted gently with each turn. Trees stood along the edges like quiet sentinels, their reflections trembling on the surface as the breeze touched them. I had walked for some time, though I did not measure it. The rhythm of the walk was enough, a slow and unbroken pace that freed the mind from clocks and schedules. The air was cool, touched by the fading warmth of the day. Birds called faintly from the distance, their voices carrying across the wide expanse of sky and water. Eventually, I felt the pull to pause. The river had a way of inviting rest, and I followed a small track that sloped down toward the water. The path was easy, a natural route, as though many before me had sought the same kind of stillness. Soon I stood on the stones that reached into the river, the familiar formations built to guide its flow. These rocky tongues stretched like arms into the current, and I chose one as my seat. It was around 7:30, though time itself seemed to dissolve here. The light was still steady and clear, softened only slightly by the late hour. The river reflected it with a calm brightness, its surface shifting gently in the quiet breeze. I set down my things and reached for my pipe and tobacco. The small ritual felt just right, a gesture of settling in and becoming part of the place. My hands moved carefully, filling the bowl, tamping it down with patience. It was a familiar rhythm, and one that always carried with it the promise of calm. Just as I finished, something caught my attention. There was movement in the water, steady and deliberate. At first I thought it might be a branch drifting in the current, but then the shape became clear. A beaver swam gracefully along the surface, its sleek body leaving a quiet trail behind. In Germany, they sometimes call the beaver Meister Bockert, a name that carries both respect and a hint of folklore. As I watched, it passed directly in front of me, unhurried and unafraid. For a moment, our eyes seemed to meet, and I felt certain the animal knew I was there. It was not alarmed, only aware, sharing the space as naturally as if it had always been meant to. The encounter was brief, yet it held a rare stillness. The river, the beaver, the soft evening air, all seemed woven into a quiet harmony. I lit my pipe, the smoke curling gently upward, and let the scene unfold around me. The beaver disappeared upstream, slipping silently out of sight, but the sense of its presence remained. The river carried on with its calm, steady sound, as if nothing had disturbed its course. I sat comfortably on the stone, pipe in hand, and let the tobacco burn slowly. Thin threads of smoke rose into the still air while the river moved steadily past, its surface alive with shifting light. The sky was wide and open, carrying a freshness that only comes before the evening truly settles. Shadows grew longer along the banks, but the warmth of the day still lingered faintly on the stones beneath me. The river reflected it all, a mirror in motion, broken only by the ripples of the current. I sat quietly, letting the flow of the river and the stillness of the air settle around me. After a while, I gathered my things and continued my walk, following the path back toward home as the evening slowly unfolded. The river flowed, the day ended, and the world turned quietly toward night. Take your time. This moment is yours.